Welcome all of you. Good morning everyone. This is Madhavi Komaram working as a guest DL in TTW RDC Dhammapeta, and today topic is big data. Before we are entering into this topic, must and should we know the some topic, okay? And present in this situation nowadays, everyone have smartphones, yes, and with these smartphones every day we can share a lot of information or lot of data with our friends or family members like this, okay na. And with the smartphones we can share the images, we can send videos, we can post videos or images in social medias, okay now. You can share documents through emails, yes. And by using these smartphones, very help to us. And every single person, every one day, every single person 40 exabytes of data can share it in this social media. And you think this lot of information where it is stored, everybody don't know about this, yes. And this information are stored in this big data. And I think this big data is very helpful to us, to how much data how much data every day produced, and this data where it is stored, and all these concepts are learned in this topic, okay. And next, in social media we have different types of apps like Facebooks and Twitter and Instagram. In this social media we can store a lot of information and lot of data to a lot of data shared to friends or family members, like every day Facebook 1.0 millions of people can use the Facebook, and 2.1 millions of data are shared in the Snapchat, and 4.5 million people can download the videos or upload the videos in YouTube, and 188 millions of mails every day, mails are sent to the each and everyone, and 3.8 millions of peoples can store the information in systems, okay. And next one is, before we are going to the advantages of this big data, must and should we know the what is data, okay. And in this, what is data? Here data is the combination of raw facts, and this data word is singular form of datum, okay. Datum is the Latin word, and it means something given, okay. And something given, data is given to the computer, and after processing the data it will become outside, okay. And this data, already I told that data is a collection of raw facts. And what is raw facts? The versional characteristics of the data of the item is called raw facts, okay. And in this data we have different types, combination of different facts like numbers, okay now. That numbers is 0 to 9. And character means single alphabet is called character, and these characters are capital A to capital Z and small a to small z. And symbols means special symbols like asterisk, ampersand, and dollar, percentile, minus, plus, like this. And images, text, and which can be processed by the computer. And must and should we know that, remember one thing, these data are no meaningless, okay. And this type of is called data. And what is information? Information is house structure, okay. These information are understood by the users. After processing the data, it will be comes outside, okay. That is called information. And this information is very effective behavior and decision or an outcomes, okay. And this is data is meaningless, okay, meaningless, and information is understood by the user. And next one is about RDBMS, about DBMS, okay. And I told that data is stored in somewhere, okay. I don't know where it is, but data will be stored in somewhere, that is called server, okay. All data are what it is shared through the social media or emails or computers. That data will be stored in the server, okay. And in the server they are used DBMS concept, okay na. Before we learn about DBMS, what is database. Okay na, database is a collection of tables. Okay na, database is a collection of tables. In this database we can store lot of data. Okay, like social a lot of data, like store the information what you want, and we can share the videos. This all data or images, audios, text and documents are stored in this database. Okay, and next one is database man. In this, observe in this peak, okay, database is application database. In this database we can store the, and observe this peak here. In this DBMS we can gather the information from different source like applications, other DBMS and users, and this DBMS have storage area. In this storage area we can save the information or data, and observe in things, the gathered information are stored in storage area, and that will be divided into different databases like relational databases and hierarchical and objects databases. Okay, and by using this database we can store lot of information, and it is the database, by storing this data we can use the database management system software. Okay, that interacts with the users and the computer. Okay now, the database is used to perform used to interacts between users and the computer. Okay, and next one is what is table. Already I told what is table. Collection of rows and columns is called table. Okay, it consists of number of columns or number of rows. Observe in this peak. Okay, first column is first name and last name and address, city and age. This is the some main details of the every employee, like. Okay, and first name is Mickey and second name, last name is Mouse, and the address and cities and age. These all information are stored in table. Okay, and this table, this is only one table. This type of number of tables is called stored in the database. Okay, you think how much data it will be stored, it will be stored in this database. Okay, and the single row and the single column is called cell. In this cell we can store the data. Okay, not in rows and not in columns. A single cell we can store the data in single cell. Okay, and one single cell and one single row called cell. Okay, and next one is advantages of the DBMS. By using this DBMS, the advantages is reduced data and redundancy. And what is reduced data redundancy? For example, we can store the same data in 2 times in database. The DBMS automatically remove the same data from the databases. Okay, and control the data inconsistency. For example, some data not available in this database, it will be adjust that data and facility to share of data. Okay na, in this database we have lot of amount and we can share the data. At the same time we can retrieve the data from this database, and we have data security. Okay na, at the same time in this data, by using this database management software we have security and integrated data. At the same time it is very reliable and accurate. No errors and no fraud are in our database management system. And backup and recovery. By in this DBMS we can backup our information. At the same time we can recover our problems. We can solve the problems easily. Data integrity, we can store large amount of data. Okay, it can store large amount of data, and DBMS is very useful for software for being organization. In this organization of massive data. This is all advantages of by using this DBMS. Okay na, why you are I am telling this about DBMS because we know advantages of big data before we learn the what is DBMS. Then we know that we can observe that what is the difference between database and big data. Okay, and now we are entering into the today's topic is big data. Okay, and today we all this we go through all this content. Okay, and first one is introduction, and next one is what is data, history and characteristics of the big data, storing, selecting and processing of big data, and why we are using big data. sources where the data is retrieved, and tools of the big data, and advantages and applications of the big data, and history of Hadoop. Hadoop is the main concept in this big data. We can discuss later. Okay, what is Hadoop and history of Hadoop, and future of big data, and conclusion. Okay, and first one is introduction. Okay, now in this introduction, what is big data? In our DBMS concept, you use traditional methods. Okay, we can use traditional methods, but in this big data we can use technology wise methods. Okay, big data may will be the next big thing in the IT industries. Okay, it is very help to the IT, information technology industries world. Upcoming days are all are filled with technology, so it is very helpful to us, and we all use smartphones. But have you ever we can share the text to emails and videos, photos by music or songs, or by this using smartphones. Okay, and this all data are stored in big data. And next one is, what is big data? Big data is similar to the small data but bigger in size. Okay, it is similar to the big small data but very big in size. Okay, but having data bigger, it requires different approaches, techniques, tools, and architectures. Big data is term for data sets that are so large and complex that traditional data processing applications are inadequate to deal with them. Okay, this big data is very complex and traditional data processing applications are inadequate to deal with them. In this with this traditional method processing, very complex to access the data, and very complex to retrieve the data. We can store data into the traditional way, but by using this big data we can easily store the information, we can easily access, and we can easily retrieve that data. This data will be gathered from different sources like government department, like healthcare, and smart cities, smartphones, like this. Okay, and next one is, big data helps the organization to create new growth opportunities at the same time. By using this big data, to learn this big data, we have number of opportunities in IT industry. We can use this. By using this big data, we can gather the number of data we can access, and we can retrieve the information. And next one is, by using this, organizations to collaborate, it were online, and startup forms. We can start the new forms. We can use by using this big data, like Facebook and LinkedIn and Google. Okay, we can download a lot of information from this Google. We can search whatever you want, we can search in this Google. And this in this Google, we can access lot of information, we can download information, but that information are stored in big data. Okay, and next one is history of big data. The term big data was coined by Roger Muggles back in 2005. Okay, and these big data are developed by Roger Muggles in 2005. This is when the world was first introduced to them term big data by Roger Muggles. Already these big data are developed in 1990s, but the world knows the term of big data in 2005. In the same year, Yahoo created the now open source Hadoop. Okay, this Yahoo created Hadoop software with the intention of indexing the entire world wide web. Today Hadoop is used by millions of business to go through close amount of the data. During this period, social networks were rapidly increasing, and large amount of data were being created on daily basis. Business and governments alike began to establish big data projects. For example, in 2009, the largest biometric database ever created, the Indian government stored fingerprint or iris scans of its citizens. Okay, in India 2019, they created a large biotics database for what? For fingerprint and iris scans. Okay, these all our data are stored in this big data. Okay, and next one is types of big data. Okay, we have different types of big datas. Okay, and here big data includes a huge value, high velocity and extensibility variety of data. These all are three types: structured data, semi-structured data and unstructured data. And what is structured data, and what is semi-structured data, and what is unstructured data? Okay, structured data is data consider all data which can be stored in database SQL in table with rows and columns. Already we know in database have rows and columns, and in these rows and columns we can store the information. And simplest way to, for instance, the employee table in company database will structure as employee details, their jobs position, their salaries and will etc will be present in the unorganization manner. Example, relational database. Okay na, a structured data, in the structured data all data are stored in RDBMS, right? And for example, we can take one example like employee. Okay, every organization filled with a number of employees by using this DBMS structured data. The employee have details, their job position, their salaries, their home address and identity card number. Okay, like this. And this all data are stored in the structured manner like relational database. Okay, and unstructured, next one is semi-structured data. Semi-structured data is information that does not reside in a relational database. Okay. This semi-structured data is combination of unstructured and structured. Okay, and the organizational properties that make it easiest to analyze. Example, spreadsheet and Excel. Example of the semi-structured is a spreadsheet and Excel sheet. Okay, and this semi-structured data is combination of unstructured data and structured data. Okay, unstructured data is data. This makes it very difficult and time consuming to process and analyze unstructured data. Emails is an example of unstructured data. Okay, this unstructured data is very difficult to analyze, difficult to store, difficult to retrieve, difficult to access, time consuming process and analyze the unstructured data. Emails, examples of this unstructured data is emails, PDF, text to media, like this. When the data have structure, very easy to access, very easy to retrieve. Observe this peak. The structured data have one structure, then we can easily we can easily understand, we can easily access and we can easily store the data. But next week is semi-structure. This semi-structure combination of structure and unstructure. So some compare with the structured data, it is very difficult, little bit difficult to access and process the data. But in this with this unstructured data, very difficult to access, we can difficult to store, we can difficult to download, at the same time very time consuming process. This is types of the data in big data. Okay, and next one is characteristics of the big data. This characteristics of the big data, already we know that what is big data. We can store the number of huge of data in this big data. Okay, now we can access easily, we can retrieve from the big data, or like, and this possible, the concepts of this big data is 5 ways, depended on the 5 ways. First one is volume, and next one is velocity, and next one is variety, fourth one is value, and fifth one is veracity. Okay, and what is the 5 concepts? So in big data: volume, velocity, variety, value and veracity. And what is volume, and what is velocity, what is variety, what is value, and what is veracity? What is volume? Already we know, in big data, to store the data, some data into big data, we can gather the information between different sources, like healthcare centers, like government, like smart cities, smart mobile smart consumers, like this. Okay, and different sources we can gather the information, we can gather the data from different sources. Then that data is analyze the data will be a volume or not. Okay, we can analyze, we can estimate the data will is volume or not. And next one is velocity, the speed of the accessing data or the speed of the storing the data is called velocity. Okay, now how much speed we can access the, within this speed limit of we can access the data, we can store the data, we can using this data. And third one is variety, we can store the different types of varieties of data or information like text, images and videos, music, like this. All data are that will be our structure or semi-structure or unstructured. What different types of data we can gather from different sources, like, and we can divide that when we are gathered that information, and automatically the big data will be divided into structure and semi-structure and unstructured format. And next one is value, the bulk of data having no value is no good to the company. Useless you can turn into some useful data. Unnecessary, we can gather the data or information from different sources. Okay, that information are will be used or not, we don't know, like, and we can, the useless data will be converted into the something useful format. Okay, veracity, to avoid inconsistency and uncertainty in data. For example, we can gather the information or data from different sources. We can gather same data at 2 times, so we can automatically, that big data can delete the same data from big data. Okay, and uncertainty in data. Okay, and this all are the characteristics of the big data, and it is called 5 V's. And next one is storing and selecting the processing of big data. Storing and selecting and processing of big data, we already know we can gather the information, we can gather the data from different sources, and how it will be storing and how it will be selecting and how it will be processing. See this, processing big data. Big data processing involves steps very similar to processing data in the transactional or data warehouse environments. Okay, in this processing of big data, okay, now we have different 4 stages. Okay, now first one is gather the data, analyze the data, and process the data and distribute the data. First one is must and should we can gather the data, that is gather stage. Okay, now we can collect the data from different sources, from multiple sources, and including real-time systems and near real-time system and batch and oriented application. The data collected and loaded into the storage environment like Hadoop. Okay, the data will be stored in this by using Hadoop software. Okay, first of all we can gather the information from different sources. Okay, and next one is analyze the data. What will gather the data will analyze it is useful or not. Observe in this peak, analyze, classify and categorize and contextualize. Okay, and next one is analyzing stage. What we gathered data or information from different sources, we can analyze that data in analyzing stage. Okay, stage, the data discuss stage for processing big data, and preparing is for integration to the structure. Okay, and classify, first of all in this analyze stage we can classify that is unstructured, and that is structured, that is semi-structured. We can classify the data whatever we gather from different sources. Okay, and that divided into that is divided into different groups. Okay, our structure, it will be stored in the structured data, or the gather information is semi-structured, then it will be stored in the semi-structure, and the data is unstructured, then the data will be stored in the unstructured group. And next one is categorize. Categorization will be useful in managing the life cycle of the data, since the data is stored as a write once model in the storage layer. Already we know categorize the data, or it is documents, then add to the documents. It is music, it add to the music group. Okay, and this is the analyzing. First of all, after gathering the information, we must and should analyze the data. And next one is process stage. After completion of gathering data and analyzing, in this analyzing we can divide the structure and semi-structure and unstructured data. Next, process that data, whatever the gathering from the different sources. Processing big data has several substages, and the data transformation at each substage is significant to produce the correct or incorrect output. After analyzing this data, it can be go to the processing stage. Okay, in this processing stage we have substages. Okay, every processing stage are divided into different types of substages, and it will be, the data will be sent to sub stages. Okay, and see this pic, and all first of all gathering all the data, and next one is the gathering data is analyzed and insights and actions. Okay, and next one is, and last but not least, it is distributed stage, very important stage. After gathering that information and analyzing and processing, we can distribute the data. Okay, big data is distributed to downstream systems by processing it between analytical application and reporting systems. Okay, observe in this peak, the master is collect the information from file storage and databases, and the master that gather information are sent to the different persons like slaves. Okay, and the gather information are not only the important role is gathering, it will be also distributed. Okay, and whatever the information are gathered from different sources, again it will be distributed to required persons. Okay, and another distribution techniques involves exporting the data as flat files for use another application like web reporting. Okay, now we can also using another tool is to distribute a web reporting. This all are the concepts of the big data. Okay, next one is why big data. Why know about big data and what is the use of this big data? Why learn big data? What is the purpose of learning or knowing this big data? Key enablers of appearance and growth of big data are increasing of storage capabilities. Okay, by using this big data in every organization or every companies, increasing the storage capacity compared with the DBMS concept. Of course, this DBMS concept are already used in some ways. Okay, all IT companies, but compare with the big data, the DBMS have less memory. Okay, compare with this big data have lot of storage area and increasing processing power. At the same time, the processing power means, in this processing power we can access or we can store the information or we can download the information is increase. Availability of data, in this big data gather lot of information from different sources, like, and at the same time when we are required this big data, every information are available in this big data. Every day 2.5 quanti millions of bytes of data are generated. Okay, last 2 years in our India. Okay, 2.5 quintillion bytes. Okay, and next, big data analytics, and what is the how it been the big data is analyzed in examine large amount of data appropriate. In this big data we can store or we can retrieve the large amount of data, appropriate information and effective marketing are actual in this big data. Not only gathering, not only storing, and also we can analyze the which type of information are stored in this big data. Affecting market customer satisfaction by using this big data, this is the very important. For example, we can take Flipkart or Amazon, like this consumer smart consumers examples. For example, we can buy some product from the Flipkart. Okay, after receiving this info, that item, we can give the review or we can write the our opinion in this website, Flipkart website. Then the Flipkart authorities or the Flipkart managers know the which type of data they will ask, they will require, they will need. The manager knows this concept. So every organization are developed for develop the production for customer s, and every customer satisfaction is very important to the organization. So by using this big data, we can store the reviews, we can give the comments to Flipkart. Then they are developing their products, and they know the how customers are need different items. Okay, better business decisions. So we can, by using this big data, we can take decisions better in better and competitive advantages, and identification of hidden patterns and unknown and correlations. And next one is big data sources. Already we know, we I told that big data is gathered from different sources, like healthcare centers, smart care centers, and transport, and smart factories, smart cities, smart buildings, like this. These all are the sources of big data gathering. And first one is social media. Already every day everyone use this social media, like Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. We can post or share, download a lot of information, lot of data from this. Yes. And the data comes from likes, tweets, comments, videos, uploads, and share. Like in social media, we can every day 100 times we can open Instagram, and we can share the videos, we can post the video, we can download the videos, and we'll click on the like button. Okay, we can comment in this Twitter. Okay, like this all data are stored in this big data. This is the main source of the big data. And big data in healthcare, for example, in this present now situation nowadays, everywhere they are digital. Okay, everywhere they can use computers. In olden days they can note the patient details in register, but nowadays they can use computer to store the patient details, like their health problems, and which type of tablets, which type of medicines we can give to the patient. These all are details are stored in this computer. So these all information are gathered from the big data, are stored in this big data. And big data in transportation, predict passenger volumes as precious as possible. Okay, in transformation we can booking the ticket. Okay, that information are very confidentially, and that all details are stored in the computer or big data. And big data in smart buildings, smart technology is creating millions upon millions of data points, right? Okay, and next one is big data in factories, big data in smart cities. Everywhere we can use computers. For example, in factories the employee details are stored in computers, and in the computer that data will be stored in big data. And smart cities, every city have computers, like for example, sensor systems, like CC cameras. That all data will be stored in big data. This is the major sources of big data, and we can gather the information by using these sources. And for example, in government system we can apply some for one job, for example constable. We can submit our details. Okay, we can fill the father name, mother name, and date of birth. All columns are filled after submitting. Then we can submit this detail to the government. And where the government is stored, the data will be stored in the big data. So remember one thing, every data, okay, every data are stored in big data. So in this nowadays, must and should we know the big data. Okay, and next one is tools used in big data. Which type of tools we can use in big data, must and should I know that. And in this big data we have different types of tools for storing the or sharing the information. Okay, the first one is Apache Hadoop. This is the type of software. Library is big data framework. It is big framework, and it allows the distributed processing of large data set across clusters of computers. At the same time, not only this Apache Hadoop also distribute the data, not only storing and not only retrieving, not only accessing. And in this see in these speaks, we have different types of tools like Hadoop, Spark, Storm, Cassandra, MongoDB. Not only this, we have different types of tools for big data for storing and sharing this information. The main things is this, okay. Hadoop and Spark and Storm, Cassandra, Mango, DB. Okay, these are all the tools. By using these tools, we can store the information in big data. Okay, and next one is applications of big data. Not only big data, not only we can use the health centers, not only in enter the patient details, it also used in banking and security and communications, media and entertainment. Healthcare provides education, manufacturing and natural resources, government, insurance, retail and wholesale trade, transportation, media and entertainment. All these all places are we can using this big data, and by using this big data, these all things are very useful to us. And next one is benefits of risk and issues with big data. Not only the advantages of big data, we have risks and issues. Not this is not disadvantage, just issues, risks. What type of risks we can face you by using this big data? Security issues. Okay, we can gather the number of lot of use of data from different sources. The data collected by multiple organization contains sensitive information. Somewhere it is very hard, so the hackers are hack this attacked on this big data, then we can lose the data. And privacy risk, some collected information can use it for number of different activities and lead to elimination the freedom. Okay, one single data can perform different many one single data, for example about flowers, one single person can require number of times, then the data will be freedom, then we can lose the privacy. And unintentional data discrimination, inaccurate big data analytics may create analytics confusion and unintentionally discriminate an individual based on age or gender. Inaccurate big data, for we can gather the information from different sources, we don't know that data will be accurate or inaccurate, correct or not, we don't estimation that. Okay, data integrate, lost opportunities caused by incompatible databases in cloud. Data integration, we lost the opportunities of this, but by using this databases. Data quality, we can collect the different types of data like documents, images, like this, but sometimes we miss quality data quality, we missed, we lost. Okay, and these all are the risks and issues of using this big data. And next one is benefits of the big data. Nowadays big data is very important part. Okay, and 64 billion database analyst market, improved customer services. At the same time, in this, for example, they I take one example from Flipkart. Okay, the customer every time asks some item. Okay, every time they ask for some item, then the Flipkart authorities knows that, okay, the need of the customers, then the Flipkart customers provide that item to the customers. So customer services are improved, early identification of risk to the products and services, if any, easy to identify the risk of the with that product and services, if any required. And data internet booms of 1990s and the social media explosion of today. Already this big data are boom developed on 1990s, but the big data word term are known the world is on 2005. Okay, and this is the benefits of the big data. Advantages of the big data. Okay, and understanding and trading customers, understanding and optimizing a business process, improving science and research, improving healthcare and public healthcare, optimizing machines and device performance, financial trading and improving sports performance, improving security and law enforcement. These all are the advantages of the big data. First of all, we know the understanding of the customer feelings and customer needs and target the customer services customers. Okay, for example, we take one example, Flipkart. When the customer asking every time one item, then the Flipkart manager can identify the customer needs and they can send the requirements. Okay, understanding and optimize business of process, improving science and research. By using this big data we can improving a science and research, and we can this big data all used in financial tradings. Okay na? Also used in financial trading to store the information about import and export like this. And next one is history of Hadoop. Already we know that what is Hadoop. Hadoop is a software framework software. It is developed, created by scientist Dog Cutting and Mick Cadarella in 2005. It was inspired by Google's MapReduce software framework, in which an application is broken down into numerous small parts. This by using this Hadoop, the use of data can divided into chunks, divided into small parts. Then we can easily retrieve we can easily access that data. Okay, Doug named it after his son's toy elephant. The scientist, the great computer scientist Doug, is changed the Hadoop name into Elephant, the son toys elephant. In November 2016, Apache Hadoop became a registered trademark of the Apache Software Foundation. The Hadoop is 2016 a registered trademark. Hadoop, observed in this logo of Hadoop, the logo have small elephant. Okay, and next one is, and what is Hadoop? Before we are learning about some technology or Hadoop, must and should we know the reason for learning the technology. We must know the what the benefits of this technology and what is the purpose of this technology. Must and should we know all three things. Okay, and nowadays Hadoop is the very famous word. Okay, technology or tool. Nowadays all companies use this Hadoop concept for storing the big data. Okay, and every company have its own details, employees details, profits and loss, and which products they can develop to produce. All these are stored in this computers by using this Hadoop concept. And the major reasons to learn Hadoops as a gateway to big data technologies. Okay, Apache Hadoop is a cost effective and reliable tool for the big data analytics. This Hadoop concept or tool is very reliable and accurate in big data. And Hadoop as a distributed technology. At the same time, DBMS is traditional method, but this Hadoop is a digital wise and parallel. It will be stored the data in parallelly. Then it will be easy to access, it is easy to store it, easy to retrieve. And next one is uh, Hadoop is framework used for distributed storage of huge amount of data and parallel data processing. It breaks a large chunk into smaller ones to be processed separately on different data nodes, and automatically gather the results across the multiple nodes to return a single result. Quite often, Hadoop means the ecosystem that covers multiple big data technologies such as Apache Hive, Apache HBase, Apache Zookeeper, like this. And already I told that the Hadoop is divide the lot of use of data into different parts. Then observe in this peak, the Hadoop concept collect the Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. And this Hadoop concept gather the information from different sources, and the information are stored in one place. Then it will be stored in different nodes. Okay, and like computers. Okay, na the what are the information or data gathered from different sources, it will be divided into different computers. Like first computer have AB data, and next computer have AC data, and last computer have BC data. For example, that A data will be remove from the first computer, then also it will be available to the next computer. Okay, then no problem with the Hadoop. We can access from different computers and different nodes. Okay, and next one is managing the big data. and we are living in world where every second we generate huge value of data. There is a need to manage his vast amount of data called big data. From the above peak, okay, now observe this peak. We can see that unstructured data is increased exponentially for managing such as data. Already I told that what is the examples of the unstructured data: social media like images, videos, and text to documents, emails. Like the olden days we don't have these all things, and we don't have Instagram, we don't have Facebook and Twitter like this. So in that time we can use only DBMS concept, but in nowadays every one person have accounts in Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp like this, using everyone using this. So this lot of data are have stored in one huge place, that is big data. Okay, next one is increasing demands for Hadoop professionals. By using this Hadoop concept, by using these advantages of this Hadoop in IT technology or IT industries, IT software side, have required professionals in Hadoop software. Okay, and increasing demands, every company demands the Hadoop professionals for their companies. Hadoop is a manufactured maturing technology. Hadoop is evolving with the time, and Hadoop 3.0 has now come into the market. No, new actors such as Apache Spark, Flink, all these all are Apache Spark, Cassandra. These all are the tools, but Hadoop is the main develop very important to store the huge data, a lot of data. And next one is learn Hadoop for paychecks. Software side IT industries like IBM, Pro US, everyone are waiting for Hadoop professionals. The salary also 3 lakhs by 2020 last year. From last year we don't know actually what is big data and what is Hadoop, so we don't know any information about that. But in future, okay, Hadoop is the main concept, big data is a very main concept though. So Hadoop professionals have demands for IT industry. And next one, Hadoop has a better career scope. Okay, by using learning this Hadoop concept, by using this Hadoop concept, we have best career like big data architect, Hadoop developers, data scientist, Hadoop administrator, data analyst. Like this, we have these all are jobs in IT industry. So must and should we know, we learn the big data and Hadoop concepts. Okay, next one is future of big data. Already we know we have best future to learn this big data. The Hadoop ecosystem consists of various components providing batch processing, real-time stream processing, machine language, and many more. Learning Hadoop opens doors for various jobs profiles like big data architect, Hadoop developer, data scientist, Hadoop administrator, data, and these all are jobs, very demand jobs in IT industry. So everyone learn this Hadoop concept and big data concept. We have a number of opportunities for freshers in the IT side. So I request all are go through. And next one is 15 billions on software firms only specialize the data management and analytic. This industry on its own. Software firms only specialization in data management and analytics. This industry on its own is worth more than 100 billions and growing at almost 10% of years, which is roughly twice as fast on the software business. To so all of you learn about this Hadoop and big data. To we have number of opportunities in IT industry, so this is a very important concept in present situations. And next one is last one is the commercial conclusion. And the learning this Hadoop and big data is very useful concept in present situations. Okay, by using this big data we can store large amount of data. We can also retrieve the data, we can also store the data, we can access it, this all data comes from social medias and healthcare centers and public care centers, smart cities. Everyone present nowadays, everywhere use computers. The computer, what the data enter into that computer, all data are stored in big data. Okay, thus big data, the big data store the information by using different tools, but the Hadoop is the main. And we have lot of tools, Cassandra, MongoDB, like this, storms, and this, all tools we have, but the Hadoop is the main concept. Why? Because the Hadoop is not only store the data, not only retrieving, not only access, it also distribute the information to the different computers or different nodes. So that's why this Hadoop is very important, very useful in big data concept. And the commercial impacts of the big data have the potential to generate significant productivity growth for number of vertical sectors. Big data presents opportunities to create and presidency, business advantages and better services deliveries. By using this big data and Hadoop concept, we the every organization or every big data, very big company are provide the best services to delivery. For delivery, all challenges and issues are needed to be handled effectively and in efficient manner. Growing talent and building teams to make analytic based decision is the key to realize the value of big data. By using this big data, must and should we, to learn this big data, we have better opportunities in future, from this day. Okay, so everyone learn, know about this big data, and everyone know about this Hadoop concept. By using this big data, we have stored a lot of information. And by using, we have different types of big datas, big data like structure and unstructured and semi-structures, all these data. By using this Hadoop concepts, all data are stored in this manner. So in structure, we can, data will be stored in structured manner. We have stored the data in one arranging order. In semi-structure, we can, the semi-structure is a combination of structured and unstructured format. And the unstructured data will be, examples of unstructured is very difficult to access, very difficult to use, very difficult to store, because the unstructured data will never have any structure. So that's why it is very difficult to use. And by finally, this big data and Hadoop concept, using to generate the large amount of data, we can store the large amount, a huge amount of data. And it is very helpful, helpful for us, I think so. Please learn about this, and next, and thank you for watching this video.